Kind enough to have Reggie Miller and Chris Webber here in the Man Cave. And the movie coming up tonight, Uncle Drew, the world premiere.
Uncle Drew!
Now, Chris, you used to live next to, in the neighborhood with Reg in Malibu?
Yeah, I was a Malibu resident, but Reggie wouldn't let me come over his house or nothing like that.
Did you ever go to Reggie's house?
I used to drive by it and like look over the gate and be like,
Wow.
man, this is beautiful. Must be nice.
Well, who's got a nicer house? Kevin Garnett?
Kevin Garnett.
KG's house is nice.
He's got long money.
I live in either one of the garages, so both of them.
Kevin Garnett has a palatial estate.
So the number of black people in Malibu, as you
It's
said,
gone
is
down
now...
Since he left.
But I'm coming back, Reg. I'll be back there. We're going to increase.
See,
I'll
he's
be back
coming
next
back.
summer, baby. Next summer.
Wait,
The
so
quota's moving up. 3 black people in Malibu now.
So it's you, KG. That's it.
And we're holding it down. Halle Berry made an appearance one summer.
Oh, she did?
One summer. She rented down in Point Dume for a little bit.
Oh, okay. Just a drive-by. She wasn't there for a long haul.
No,
Okay.
We don't consider drive-bys residents.
Okay. Do you remember the story you were going to tell?
I do not.
Oh, my God. Do you guys remember what we were talking about that C-Web goes, I got a great story, and then I said, hold off, and then...
What was the story? Does anyone know what we were talking about?
There was a
going
Juwan
to
Howard
break?
story. There was a Duke story.
Juwan Howard.
You told that.
Duke story. Another good story will come up. My bad.
Okay.
I don't
All right.
remember.
So we were talking about Chris is going back to Michigan. Jim Harbaugh reached out to him. How are you with teammates? Is that important at all with the Fab Five, relationship-wise?
You know, very honestly, Dan, so much is made because other people talk and I haven't talked. And I think that could be good or bad depending on how you look at it. So I have to take responsibility, I guess, for whatever people think, but I talk to Juwan like every freaking other day. First of all, his ears are like Reggie, so he can hear me right now. Wherever he is, he can hear me, so it's not like, no, but Ray and Juwan I talk to often. I haven't talked to Jalen in a while, a long time, and that's about it, but you know, you could not be cool
I would love
with...
to be a fly on the wall on that conversation.
You could not be cool with one person and still be cool with four other
Right.
guys. It's like, you know, you could not like somebody and still be cool with the Danettes. You know what I'm saying? You know, so this whole thing of, oh, he doesn't know, he can't come back. He's so hurt about the time when he's crushed and mentally he can't be with all 5 of us. Like, I don't, you know, it is what it is. I'm very happy that, and very honored that
out of the
Coach
5, who was
Harbaugh-
saying that?
Who would say that?
Who was saying that?
You like, I thought we only started we worked together, man.
There you go. But
No, I'm just saying, obviously, you're here on TV.
Because we keep talking and I keep seeing them on the screen right here, so I'm just assuming.
You know what? It's like this. I never wanted to make a private beef personal for the world.
Right.
But because I've been trolled, like I think no human in the history of sports has been trolled by, you know, someone that you consider your friend, it's tough.
Right.
But that doesn't mean I'm not cool with everybody else. Like, you can't take all power and ownership and say, he doesn't speak to me, or he's not cool, I'll get him back to the university. So it's never been like that. The guys are my boys, and when you're brothers, you're gonna get into it and you'll get back together.
But what happens, though, is we make more out of it, and then we read into it, and what happens is we want an answer. We want to have a moment where, like Bob Knight going back to Indiana, I said to him, Coach, don't make this about the administration here. Make it about the people and give them something. Now, go back for them.
Yeah.
Whereas, you know, it's difficult if you guys have a reunion with the Fab Five. You can do it, do it for the fans.
Yeah.
And wear that varsity jacket. And if you and Jalen don't get along, okay, you can still survive and do something that's really, I think, rewarding for those fans as well. Like, they should remember great things about the Fab Five.
Absolutely.
And Dan, I want them to, and it will happen, but it had to be natural, and it had to be really on my time. It had to be something where you can have a conversation, and I think we're gonna have that conversation coming up because I've addressed all these issues, but I think it's something that you have to have a conversation, not people trying to grandstand. For instance, remember the first Final Four that Michigan had, or a few years ago when they played in Atlanta? And everybody was saying, well, Chris went up to his suite, he couldn't. Well, on paper, I still was banned from the school. So I go upstairs because you still can't supposedly sit with the team and do those things.
You weren't allowed to be around the team.
Well, it still was that band. I think that was actually the last year or something like that. So within that, you can't go to the game and be. So let me take full credit for every time a fire was put up, a fire was made. I didn't come out and say, "Hey, wait a minute, it's not like that." That's not my personality, and that hurts a lot because the fans do need to see that. But I think that we're going to have some great conversations, and hopefully the fans that go to Michigan, that love Michigan, especially ones as much as I do, will enjoy it when we come back together.
Because there's a lot
that's what we want.
You guys sweated as brothers, a lot of tears together. And I think that's what, especially old school and old heads like me, being older than you and playing with Jalen, I know how much he loves you and I know how much you love him. But you're right. Part of the media's job sometimes is to kind of stir it up because we like.
I would love to see you guys walk out mid-court and wear the baggy shorts. And just...
No, you can't wear the shorts. Our legs are so scrawny. I'm with you to the shorts. They were athletes.
All right. How about baggy pants?
Yeah.
Well, you can wear your warm-ups. But just to have you guys go out and go out to mid-court and huddle up.
Dan, there's nothing I would want more than that, and I think that I think we're on the right path for that. But I think it has to be conversation. I think it has to be
organically too.
And organically, and that's the thing. Like, very honestly, a lot of people were pushing it for money because the doc was out. A lot of people was pushing it for, And my thing is, you have to be sincere, address, and then move forward because all the other stuff is always going to be there. And to do it for anything else. If we start that way, we're going to end up right back where we are. And so, Dan, you're right. For the fans, I want to do it for myself, for my family, for Hoopers. So hopefully it's something I think we're working towards it.
And you also look at the impact the Fab Five had, though. Now, I don't know if you guys played with a chip on your shoulder. Like, it always felt like it was you guys against the rest of the world.
Yes.
But why was it you guys against the rest of the world? Or that feeling that you guys had?
Wow. So I've been in this kind of really reflective moment over the last 6-7 years. I've been writing a book, doing a doc, and you have to go through some tough things mentally to figure it out. And when you say that, it's because of our mentality and where we came from. Juwan, he was where he was born and where he lived. No human should live there in Chicago. He came from one of the worst areas ever. His grandmother that supported him passed away the day he signed. So as kids, we were seeing all these signs, you know what I mean? Crying with him on the phone in high school because he lost his grandmother. Knowing where guys had come from, knowing their different paths. And it was something that was so unique, something that was so sincere at the moment that we just loved each other. Our whole thing was, at the time, we didn't have a TV in our dorm. It wasn't that type of party. So at that time, I remember we were like, we're playing on TV for our moms, or Bill Walton called us thugs because we shaved our heads bald. And we were like, you go through like, why would you say that about me? My mom's watching. Then you go, you know what, screw you. Oh, dude, you can't even play anyway. If I play right now, I dunk on you. So we felt like no one loved us.
Preach! That's why he's preacher in the movie. This is it.
The hate mail that Coach Fisher would get, about, first of all, forget race. Well, first of all, we're 5 black guys, so add race. Now forget race. When I look back at some of our antics during the game, just as a 45-year-old guy, now I cringe sometimes. Like, what the heck was y'all thinking about? So along with that, and then other people that are just like, what the heck are you guys doing? So it made us come closer. And our walk-on, Freddie Hunter, our freshman year, Freddie Hunter, who was a walk-on, was our captain. And we loved it. He had a job in the first half of the year, and we rallied behind him. It was just something, man, coming from Detroit, where we were from, coming from Chicago, we felt like we were putting the city on our back.
Where did that scowl come from you? When you were running down and you just look.
Because you got
that was.
Reg, I don't know who I am on the court, Reg. You know how it is. Like, people always expect off the court you to. On the court, that's where I just was allowed to have that, man. And that was all sincere, And I try to do it now. My nephew's like, you saw. What's that fake look, Uncle Chris,
But did you learn that scowl when you got to Michigan?
No, maybe my father. That's probably my father. Before he whipped me or before he told me to do something, that's probably, I'll give him the credit for that. That's probably where I got that look. But it was so much fun. It was, You remember that time, guys, when you were yourself, the last time you were like a kid, you were stupid, but you know, you had enough love in your head to want to take on the world and help people. It was the perfect storm, and we were around great people, great coaches that really, really helped us. So I don't know where all of it came from, Dan, but it was not fake. It was sincere.
I wanted to ask you guys if you were recruiting LeBron James. So let's say, like, what would be your pitch right now of trying to get LeBron James to play? Let's say Reg, you're the Lakers, and C-Web, you're going to be Cavaliers.
Okay.
Is that okay?
Yeah, I like that. I like the cast.
If I'm Magic Johnson, I obviously would call him, Maverick, and his Rich Paul in, and I would have all the championship trophies, miniature ones, on the table, and I would recruit some of the guys I played with, James Worthy, Kareem, Kobe, and say, we're all about winning. There's a culture here.
Do you want Kobe in there?
No, let him finish. Don't help the pitch, because I got the pitch next. Come on, Dan.
Yes,
See, this is why you can't recruit. Too many people get involved in the recruiting process.
I do want Kobe because Kobe has played against
now
LeBron.
He's addressing this. This is unfair.
Kobe has played against LeBron.
Okay, all right. I'm just throwing it out there. My job's to ask the question. That's all.
Yes.
Okay.
I do want Kobe at the table.
All right, so Kobayashi's in there.
Kobayashi's in there. I have my miniature trophies.
Okay.
I was like, what you want here? Tell me what players you want, and I will go get. You got it, because you've got to feed his ego. Who do you want to play with? And I'm going to do my damnedest to bring him in. And Kobe's going to help me, right, Kobe? Yeah. That's all I want him to say.
Can I get to my pitch?
All right, here we go. Here's the Cavaliers GM, Chris Webber.
So we heard you had a nice meeting. You gonna go play for Kobe? Oh, Kobe's your coach now? Oh. You know, every time. You know, every time. You know.
Wait, you can't interrupt.
Okay, you're right.
I mean, well, you know, if Magic's your coach, why they bring Kobe in? Kobe's always gonna be over you.
Wow.
I mean, you could score 40 points in 10 games in a row, and you know what they're gonna say? You're the last person to do this since Kobe Bryant.
Can I be like that?
Not only that, you can go there and it not be your team. If you don't make the playoffs, just out of how we are in the media, and I'm including myself, it's the worst thing ever. If you guys lose to Denver, who you could lose to in the playoffs, what makes you think you can come here? You've started something, a legacy. Don't fall for these guys that just go and play with the winners or their buddies. You've done something here no one else has done. You give thousands of scholarships.
And no one is going to do it again in Cleveland.
And that's what they said about you last year, LeBron.
And he did everything.
And they doubt you. And
we're
all in, LeBron.
15 years.
We're all in.
We revamped
But
the
if you
team.
want to go play for Kobe, wait, can you wear a number? Wait, can you even wear your number there? Didn't they retire your number?
Not 23.
No, 24.
Oh, and 8.
And 8.
So yeah, and you know what? We will not guarantee to retire your number, and we can't do that. And if we do, we have to trade you.
That would be part of my pitch if I'm Magic. Your number is going up game 1.
Okay. Yeah, if you do that,
Good.
I can't fight that.
Your number is going up.
That's good.
Game
That's good.
1.
Wow.
Oh, and by the way, if I'm Magic, here's that letter that Dan Gilbert wrote about you that he took down on that website about you, just so you know how they really, like Ice Cube would say, this is how they really feel about you, okay?
Yeah.
All right, that's
the best thing you said in your recruitment.
Here's that letter.
By the way, it was your letter jacket that you had a story about. Do you remember your Letterman jacket?
My letter. Oh, I got the story. I think I said this.
Okay, here we go.
Now I've lost like the energy. That was not that good. But I was talking about Grant Hill now, how I had this Letterman jacket. So my father told me that I had the jersey. So after we played Duke in the championship, because I was going to go there, they beat us. First championship, Leitner and those guys. Grant takes off his jersey, his whole uniform, shoes, and gives it to my little brother. And next to my varsity jacket, I have Grant Hill's whole, because I stole it from my brother. I'm like, you don't get that. My boy. I'm like, yeah, I got his whole jersey. A little anticlimactic, but yeah, that's how cool it was.
So Grant gave your brother his gear.
His whole Duke uniform when they won the championship against us. Yeah.
And Leitner gave his to you, which I thought was interesting. Right?
He gave, no.
See what I said? And you talking about me wanting to do this?
Leitner gave us the business. He didn't give us the business, but no, he didn't give me
I like how C-Web goes, wait a minute, what?
I'm like, wait, did I say that?
All right, the movie tonight, the premiere, it'll be Reggie, C-Web, Kyrie, Shaq, Nate Robinson. Nate can still play, right?
Oh, did
He's
you
in the
see
big
him in the
three.
3-on-3?
Didn't you see him go off in the big three?
He hit the game-winning shot, and then he stole somebody's Chucky mask and tried to start a fight.
Rashard McCann.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, no, Nate is still...
He's trying to get back in. And
he's
he
an
should be
awesome
back.
athlete.
He should be back in the league.
Yeah.
You think he can still play?
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he can.
He could
Look
be in
at
a
some of
dunk
the guards
contest
that are on
today.
at the end of the benches on some of these teams. Yeah, Nate should be in the league.
Oh, yeah.
Why aren't you in the Hall of Fame?
Thank you.
I would love to be. I don't know. And
Thank you.
when you don't have control of that, that's something I said I'm going to have to, give up,
Thank you.
thoughts of a while ago.
Really?
Yeah.
Why isn't he in the Hall of Fame, Rich?
I think politics. I think a lot of the things that we've talked about today in the
But it's
history of
the
Michigan.
Basketball Hall of Fame. It's not the NBA.
Right.
It's everything you did. Internationally, it's what you did in college, So that's...
Well, just like we just seen with Jim Harbaugh, time heals all wounds. The invitation's been on the table for so many years for him to come back, and now he's accepted. I think people now are starting to settle in. This is not only a great basketball player, but a great talent and good person.
But I hope that the Michigan situation is not why you're not in the Hall of Fame. Because that doesn't seem fair to you as a basketball player.
Yeah.
Right?
They changed the culture of college basketball.
I know. We know their impact. I'm just curious why you're not in the Hall of Fame. And I actually thought you were. I forgot. And then I went, wait, C-Web's not in the Hall of Fame. Yeah.
But you know what it has made appreciation for? Because the first thing you want to do, human nature, very honestly, is to look at people in the Hall of Fame and compare yourselves to them. And through this whole exercise of being humble is, you know what, it's an honor to be in there, and if you're not, just wait your turn and keep it moving. But I'm lucky and I'm blessed, though. Let me say this, that I get to work with these guys, because I hear that
You're a better man than
miss
me.
the locker room. And I get the locker room every day with jerks like Reggie stirring the
But if
pot
you
and
get
other
into the
guys.
Hall of Fame, you could be in there with Bill Walton, that old man that you would dunk on.
Oh, yeah, well, yeah.
Yeah. Bill was a pretty good player.
He's like, these guys are so thugs. They're thugs.
Wait, that's your Bill Walton?
Have you had a conversation with him
my
since? Have you had a conversation with him since? Probably not, right?
I'm sure I have, and it's probably been light because it was 25 years
Does
ago.
he even remember that he called
I'm
you
sure
guys
he doesn't.
thugs?
And now I know that his shtick,
Yeah.
I don't take it as personal. It's like a lot of forgiveness, a lot of water under the bridge. But I do know that inspired me to go in and play against some of the best. When you have him talking about it, I just wish I would have had Google in to go back and know God's career and be able to speak, with some knowledge.
The movie tonight, the premiere, and it'll be released nationally on Friday night. It's Uncle Drew. By the way, just do me a favor tonight. There's one favor. That's it. Act like you know the Danettes when you see them.
I was going to say, get you in.
C-Web.
Your entourage, I got the entourage.
Just act like it. And I know you will, Reg. But C-Web, he's been known.
Take a good look at him. Take a good look so you can remember
I
those
know the
faces,
guys,
man.
baby. I
Take a good look.
We're back after this on the Dan Patrick Show.
For more Dan Patrick Show, tune to Audience Channel 239 on DirecTV or download the Dan Patrick Show app.